You ever want to know the exact second your old life ends? For Lisa Jones, it wasn't a gunshot. It wasn't a break-in. It wasn't a scream in the night. It was her little girl answering a phone she was never supposed to touch and calling the most dangerous man in the city, Daddy. It started quiet. The apartment was still half dark. Cheap blinds, weak morning sun cutting across the table. The kind of place where every surface had a purpose. Rent wasn't late. Fridge wasn't full. Life wasn't easy, but it was stable. Barely. Lisa stood at the stove, stirring scrambled eggs with one hand, holding her coffee with the other. She moved like somebody who had learned to live on alert. Shoulders slightly tense, hair up, eyes always half watching the door. On the counter behind the sugar jar was a second phone. Not her phone. Not the normal cracked screen phone with the glittery case and Mia's stickers all over it. The other phone. The work phone. The phone she never let ring more than once when she was alone and never answered at all when her daughter was in the room. That was rule number 1. Rule number 2. Mia never, ever touched it. Mia broke both rules in under 4 seconds. The work phone lit up and buzzed. Lisa froze. It was too early. Nobody called that phone before 9. Not unless it mattered. Not unless something was wrong. Mia, don't, Lisa said instantly. Too late. Mia slid off her little chair and ran to the counter in her socks, her nightshirt hanging crooked off one skinny shoulder. 5 years old. Hair a mess. Face sleepy. Bright. Trusting. Unaware of danger. She grabbed the phone with both hands, pressed it to her cheek, and chirped in her little morning voice. Hello? Hi? Lisa's stomach dropped so hard she forgot how to breathe. Mia, she whispered. Baby, give Mommy the phone. Right now. Mia ignored her. She giggled. Mommy's making eggs. Lisa felt the air in the kitchen change. The way it always did when that phone rang. Cold. Tight. Like the room itself understood who was on the other end. The man. Her boss. The man she worked for but never looked at. Not directly. Not fully. Not long enough to make it feel real. The man everyone else called a criminal, quietly. The name you didn't say in front of law enforcement, or in front of people you didn't trust. Marco Conti. She'd never said his first name out loud, not even alone. She didn't get to think about it because Mia tilted her head and said it. Said the word that made Lisa's entire body go numb. Are you my daddy? Silence. Not on Mia's side. On the other end. Lisa had never heard silence sound like that before. It wasn't confusion. It wasn't shock. It was attention. Full attention. Lisa's heart hammered so hard she heard it in her throat. Mia, give me the phone. No, Mommy, it's okay, Mia said, covering the microphone with her tiny hand like she was telling a secret. He sounds nice. Lisa's vision flashed black at the edges. She lunged forward, grabbed the phone from Mia's hand, and pressed it to her ear so fast it hurt. I'm sorry, she said in a rush. Sir, I am so sorry. She's 5. She doesn't understand. She should not have... Lisa. The voice on the other end wasn't loud. It didn't have to be. Low, even, clean, controlled. He said her name like a calm hand wrapped around her throat. Yes, she whispered. Who was that? My daughter. I apologize. The phone was on the counter and she... You have a daughter. Lisa swallowed. Yes. I see, he said. He didn't shout. Somehow that was worse. She shouldn't have answered, Lisa said quickly. I'll make sure it never... She called me Daddy. Her mouth went dry. Lisa stared at Mia, who had climbed back into her chair and was happily stabbing her eggs with a plastic fork, like nothing in the world was wrong. She didn't mean... Lisa started. I wasn't speaking to her, he said. I was speaking to you. Lisa felt sweat bead at the back of her neck. Mr. Conti, she's 5. She doesn't understand what she's saying. She just... Lisa. The way he repeated her name shut her up instantly. There was another beat of silence. Then in that same controlled tone, bring her with you today. Lisa blinked. I'm sorry? I want to meet her. Her throat closed. Sir, I don't think that's... Lisa, Yes. That wasn't a request. Her heart stuttered. With respect, sir, she's a child. She's not. You work for me, he said. You answer me. You show up where I tell you to show up. From now on, that includes her. 10 o'clock. You know the building. Her stomach was pure ice. I understand. The line went dead. Lisa stood in the kitchen, phone still pressed to her ear, hand shaking. Her brain sprinted. She ran through every possible scenario, every version of the next hour, and all of them ended in the same place. You don't tell a man like Marco Conti no. You don't hang up and pretend you didn't hear him. You don't invent a reason you can't come. You go. Or you find out what happens to people who don't. Mommy? Mia mumbled around a mouthful of egg. Was that Daddy? Lisa turned. Her little girl looked up at her with total innocence, total trust, total belief that the world was simple and kind. Lisa's voice came out thin. Baby, no. That was Mommy's boss. You, listen to me, okay? You can't call him that. Ever. Do you understand me? Mia frowned. But, ever, Lisa said, sharper than she meant to. No one is your daddy. You have me. That's enough. Mia's bottom lip trembled. Okay, she whispered. The guilt hit like a punch. Lisa knelt fast and pulled her in. Hey. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. You didn't do anything wrong. You hear me? You didn't do anything wrong. Mia nodded against her shoulder. Lisa held her tighter. Her heart wouldn't slow down. She had spent years building a life that was quiet and invisible. Cash-only babysitters, apartments under short-term leases, no photos on social media, no Facebook under her real name, no family holidays, no visitors. Nobody knew her routine. Nobody knew her child. That was the point. That was why they were still okay. And with one phone call, one tiny voice, all of it was gone. She pressed her forehead to Mia's hair and whispered, more to herself than to her daughter, "What did you just pull us into?" The building didn't look like an office. Offices had parking lots and badge scanners and fake plants in the lobby. This building had black glass, silent elevators, and a man with a gun under his jacket standing outside the door just to look at who was walking in. Lisa held Mia's hand so tight she worried she'd leave marks. "Stay with me," she whispered. "I am with you," Mia said like it was obvious. The elevator ride up felt too smooth, too quiet. Every floor number glowed in a neat white line, and with each soft ding, Lisa thought, turn around, take the stairs, lie, say she got sick, say you can't make it, say anything. But her feet didn't move, because fear wasn't the only thing sitting in her stomach. There was something else, something she hated herself for, curiosity. She had worked for this man for almost a year. She had never met him in person. Her whole job was being trusted from a distance, taking calls, passing messages, moving money the way she was told to move it, when she was told to move it. Never asking questions, never repeating names. She had heard his voice maybe 12 times. People respected him without making eye contact. People were afraid of him without saying why. The elevator doors slid open. Two men in dark suits were waiting in the hall. No smiles, no small talk. The one on the left had a scar along his jaw and a bulge under his jacket that wasn't a wallet. "Ms. Jones," the one on the right said. Hearing her name in his mouth was its own message. They knew exactly who she was.